Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Anarchy Day Trading podcast. It's good to have you back. If you're wondering how to navigate the current trading climate, specifically in the US with government shutdowns, if we're trading all-time highs, if you're wondering how to specifically react with your day trading to the current climate, today's show is for you. We wanted to talk about specifics, how you should approach your trading, how you should approach trading both during kind of specific times like we're in, but how maybe that can generalize over to other times that are maybe a little bit weird and out of the ordinary. I apologize if I sound a little bit nasally. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I appreciate you joining in. Jordan, how you been?
Doing well, man. I mean, as you can see by the hat, I am in full blown. I want snow, man. I want snow. It's been, after spending 10 years in Asia, I've been living for winter. What does suck? Daylight savings time, dude. I was at work and it was dark outside, and I don't know. My brain does not know how to handle that. And it's bad. You know, the sun's setting here in Colorado at 4:56 this last night. And
Yeah,
so I don't know if it's the same is it the same
it's
out your
awful.
way?
No, it's like five. So but it's
It's
close, and
close. It's
it
close.
is getting there. It's getting to
Oh,
winter.
and
It's
it's just,
now,
oh,
we
yeah.
came back from Turkey, and it was like 35 out, and we were absolutely freezing.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's nice to finally have start seeing the going to have some snow here shortly. And kids and I actually drove up to the mountains a few weeks ago actually, and found snow up in the mountains. And the rivers were frozen when I was out elk hunting this weekend. Didn't get an elk, unfortunately, but anyways, and better luck next year. But yeah, when it comes to trading, I've been wanting to do this trade since the shutdown started. I like on day 3, I was ready to do this episode, and hey, life happened, so we haven't made it happen until now. But yeah, I appreciate
Better
that
late
intro
than
because,
never.
yeah, exactly. I mean, but how do you handle trading at during times of uncertainty? Uh, let's be honest. We could just stop this episode right now and go, just don't. There you go. That was the short answer. Just don't. I don't think that's actually the long-term answer, because there's going to be times of uncertainty all the time. I mean, every single day in global socioeconomic news, there's always uncertainty. There's always going to be something happening. I think Levi and I were both trading the day when Trump mentioned the China tariffs, and I'd literally just gotten out of a trade long, and I watched the Nas drop like 4% in like 2 minutes. And so we've all seen that volatility. And so kind of wanted to discuss what are the things to look for to know you're trading in a time of volatility, what's things to avoid, and as we're pretty much all trading addicts, anyone who trades is probably a trading addict to some point, how do we avoid getting ourselves into some pain due to that uncertainty?
Yeah, so I really, first of all, like your point of, the times of kind of uncertainty happen. There's you kind of have the macro scale of, yes, we're trading there's a government shutdown in the
FOMC,
U.S.
or
or
the
all-time high.
rates drop, or yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And so you'll have a government shutdown that's now lasted a couple weeks. That in and of itself is a huge period of uncertainty. But within that, you have kind of these micro times of uncertainty, right? News drops, right? The FOMC, right?
Trump setting a
You have
tweet.
even exactly tiny 10-minute sections within the day. Like we talk about the fractal nature of the market, but when that actually applies to uncertainty as well. You'll have large periods of uncertainty, and within that, you have tiny little uncertain periods throughout the day. Our kind of main point, and you mentioned it, and we kind of beat this drum a lot, is that because trading is field based, and because trading is you get good at trading by putting in getting expertise and getting feel and getting experience. You want to try to typically avoid those as much as possible and just not trade during those times. I said this on Twitter a few months ago. I've said this before on the show, but I'll repeat it now because it's useful. most people's trading, in fact, I think everybody's trading would would get better by 25% at least if they only just traded when the market was pretty. And now your definition of pretty can be different than mine, but we all know it when when we log on to your, chart and you see the market and it looks nice, right? It just looks nice. It's trending well, or it's respecting levels well, and or we all have different kind of explanations of what a pretty market is, but I know what a pretty market is, and you do too. And everybody kind of does once they get a little bit of experience, and everybody would trade better if they just, all you have to do to trade significantly better is to just not trade when the market is ugly, quote unquote. And ugly just means unexpected, right? There's unexpected weird stuff happening. And that's what happens when there's just, when there's volatility, when there is kind of uncertainty. And you'll see larger periods of uncertainty when there's, when there's news, when there's a government shutdown, when Trump sends a tweet. And if you can avoid those times, you'll do much better over the long term. One reason I like trading small amount, like very short trades, is because there are uncertain things and weird things that happen, right? Trump sends a tweet and the Nas drops by, by percentage points. And I don't like hanging in those times. And so I like keeping my trades short and sweet. But if you can just focus on those good periods in between those uncertain periods, you'll do much better.
Yeah, and the reason we talk about, I want to talk about not trading during the shutdown is just because we talk about it all the time. Trading is feel-based, right? The reason you're good at trading is because you've seen that move. Your brain has seen that move, has seen that sort of thing hundreds and hundreds, and probably by the time you're good, thousands and thousands, close to hundreds of thousands of times. And you just know that you need to trade then. But when you start, bringing in variables, or should I say different variables, your brain doesn't have anything to work with, right? Because we now are dealing with new information. It's kind of been hard for traders the last couple of years because we've been trading at all-time highs so much, over the past 2 years. Sure, we've had a couple times where it's dipped, but in general, we've been trending up a lot. And with the market has been in new territory a lot, and it acts different when it's in new territory because guess what? People don't know what to do. The market is really just an aggregate of people, right? There's algorithms built in there, but let's be honest, algorithms are built by people. AI is just regurgitating people. Sorry, I'm not a huge AI. I'm not really on the AI bandwagon here. It's gotten worse, but anyway, that's a whole other tangent. But the fact is, you need to be successful at trading. You need to remove as many variables as possible. And when we're at all-time highs, when we're in the middle of a government shutdown that's about to go into the longest government shutdown that the U.S. has ever seen, that's a variable you can't account for. And the trading is going to be different, whether, it looks like it on the chart right off the bat or not. It's going to be different. It's going to behave different. And you're going to start seeing that affected in your trading.
Yeah, I agree. And again, the market and day trading is a lot of gray areas, it's hard to put that into necessarily language. And sometimes the best way to avoid hurting your chances is just to not play the game. Now, that's easy to say. So I think it's probably good at this point to talk about things. Okay, are there practical ways or practical things you can do, while you're sitting this one out? I mean, it's really easy for us to just go, hey, don't do it. But you and I have both done it, and we'll sit there and we know we should, we're right. So it's really easy for us to sit here and say, hey, just don't do it. But, especially for day traders, people are trying to learn. You're putting in years of your life to try to learn this skill so you can make money at it. Not trading feels like you're wasting time. like you're not making progress. And so people go, okay, I don't want to not trade because then I'm not getting better. First of all, is that true? Second of all, what are things you can do to continue to get better when you're supposed to be sitting one out?
I mean, the number one thing you could do is, let's be honest, just trade smaller, right? Like, don't stop trading, but just trade smaller. Like, view this as your learning experience, not a get rich quick scheme. So, if we're looking at this trading as being not, as a not get rich quick scheme, just lower your risk. Instead of risking 1%, 2%, if you're crazy, 5%, like risk 0.1% or 0.01%, a hundredth of a, trade small, because again, the way you become good at trading is infinitely scalable once you learn it, right? Like in theory, practicality, we know that psychology plays a lot and it's not, but in theory, on paper, trading is literally completely scalable infinitely. And being that way, you can learn trading 1 cent as you can. Now you're going to have to learn to scale up, and there's going to be a process for that. But just go small, plan on losing. And then also, as Levi said, trading, we've said this before and I love it. Trading is the only profession where you can go to work and lose money. The vast majority of the time, sometimes it just pays to wait, because guess what? Wait until the market, as Levi said, looks pretty, whatever that may be for you. It could be a ranging market. It could be a trending market, whatever it is looks like for you. But you all know what it looks like. You can look at charts and go, oh, that sucks, or oh, that's great, and do that. Wait for those pretty moments. That might only happen once a week. But wait for those pretty moments and maximize your trades, because guess what? It only takes one good trade to make way more money in the week than it would have if you had taken 20 trades and broken even, or probably more than likely actually lost a lot.
Yeah, and just remember, the times of waiting are part of the process of getting better, right? Like you just mentioned,
Watching the markets.
Watching the markets is the process by which you get better, not necessarily taking trades. Taking trades lock in what you know to be true or what you think to be true, and kind of lock in those possibilities. But watching the market is how you train your brain to get better. And so you don't necessarily have to take trades to be getting better. And also, as any new trader will tell you, and any experienced trader will tell you, discipline is 50% of day trading. I wouldn't say it's the majority, because some people overestimate and say it's 90% just discipline. Well, no, it's also a skill. Like you have to be good at it. Like it's not just being disciplined.
If it was just discipline, you would have all professional sport players and Olympians would be amazing traders, because they're super disciplined.
Exactly. Anybody who could follow the rules could be a good day trader, and that's not necessarily true. It is definitely a skill, but 50% of it is discipline. Like, you have to be skilled, but you also have to be disciplined at following your rules, at not taking trades even though you are tempted to, even though you know it's not a good idea. So you can work on, while you might not be taking trades necessarily, you can work on discipline. And that's, again, 50% of your skill set is being able to go, okay, I know I should not take a trade now, therefore I will not take a trade now. And that's way easier said than done. And we still do it. We still mess this up, Jordan. But it's something that we've gotten much, much better at. And you must get good at this, else you will never succeed at day trading. So view the times, even when you're not taking trades necessarily, this is a time to get better at your discipline, to follow those rules, to do what you know needs to be done. That way you can eventually succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to sum all of that up into one nice little nutshell, essentially use this time. It's an uncertain time. Let's be honest. It's uncertain time. So use this time to hone the parts of trading that you can impact. So as Levi said, discipline, watching the markets, sitting out, trading small. Take all of these little things, add them together, make sure you're journaling, and you can use this time to actually create you into a stronger trader. So that way, when the market goes back to a little bit more predictability, whatever that may mean. You'll be ready for it, and you'll be ready to start, winning those trades and passing those challenges and making money.